This is a reading vlog. Hey, hello. So I finished a book. It's called The 12-Week Year. I enjoyed it. It's a nonfiction book that it gives you a better guide of setting goals and achieving them a lot faster. By the end of 12 weeks, you have a deadline. You need to set specific goals, and no matter the progress, you will probably end up progressing further than you would have in a given 12-month year, and that's the whole point, is that you make actionable progress. The most useful part of the book was that it makes you think about weeks and days in a different way. Since it's 12 weeks, 1 week will equal 1 month, and a day will equal a week. So it does put pressure on your time, which is the point. Yep, but it's a good book. I gave it 4 stars. So I'm currently reading a bunch of books all at once because I have issues, but I like to quickly go over them. One of those books is called Ikigai. It's the Japanese secret for a long and happy life. It's really short, so I won't go too much into it. It's kind of self-explanatory. It goes over some tips on how to live a happier and longer life. It's okay so far. The next book is called Laziness Does Not Exist. I thought it sounded pretty interesting, where our society kind of has a connotation to resting. So this book kind of dives deep into it. I'm not that far. I'm only on page 56, but it's pretty interesting. So far, what I've gathered is that your body will have signals, warnings of feeling tired or disassociating, and to kind of pay attention to those, because that's usually a warning when you might burn out. Curious what else it'll say. I enjoy it so far. The next book is a novella. It's called The Deep. I thought the cover looked interesting and about mermaids. So far it's Yetu and Amaba, and Yetu has this interesting ability to remember everything that has occurred within mermaid history, I think, or within that society, and Amaba does not. And I think it's a mother-daughter relationship. Not quite sure, and I'm also not far. But Amaba seems envious of Yetu, that she can remember things. I think that's interesting, to take our memory for granted, and that's about it. It sounds pretty cool. Interesting how it turns out. The next book is called Call Me By Your Name. I just want to read this before I watch the movie. I know it's kind of a romance, and I'm not very far. I'm on page 16, so there's not much to say. Interested to see how it goes. The next 2 are for my TBR. I started reading Attached. I'm on page 70. So far, I've gone through like a small quiz on which attachment style I am, and it talks about understanding the different attachment styles. We'll see how that goes. And then the last book is Twitter and Tear Gas. I'm only on page 10. I haven't gotten far in the book. So far, it's gone over some history. It's kind of a dry read. It reads like a textbook. I think I might need the audiobook to trudge along. Hey, hello. So I finished 2 books. One of them is called Ikigai. It's a very short book. The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. I gave it 3 stars. It's pretty good. For the most part, it talks about a small little community of centurions, people who are over 100. The author asks them a series of questions and surveys on what kind of food they eat, what's their job, that sort of thing. I think it's cute the way they live, but it's not sustainable and it's not really applicable to a wide variety of people. Hence 3 stars. Most of the book is just kind of going over what they do, what they eat, kind of fluffy things. And it's not until the very end of like 90% of the book. At the end, he gives a list that could have been said 20 pages in, and that would have been the book. Even though it's a small book, it's too big for what little it's trying to say. It's okay. The next book I haven't mentioned because I mentioned last year, but I finally finished it. It's called Real World Bug Hunting. It took me forever to finish reading this book. I don't know why, just did. I did tab it up to all the different bugs that you could find. For the most part, it's a good starting point. It's useful in that it kind of gives you a guide of what bugs to look for and how they've been found and tips. So it's pretty good. I gave it 5 stars because I think most technical books are 5 stars, just because it takes a lot for the author to even come up and gather all this information, and I appreciate that, and now I get a neat reference when hunting bugs. But yeah, these are all the books that I read in this vlog. 2 very valuable and 1 okay book. Thanks for watching. Bye!